Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. So I just want to show you I've made a video describing what you do to meditate on this upcoming gathering on Thursday, February 1st. It starts Thursday, February 1st, 2024. And gratefulness meditation, apocalypse, gratefulness with two L's, apocalypse, POTF, this should say, um, POTF. And that is how you find this channel, as well as if you go to any of my videos, you go down to the description box, you'll see here the transmission Pranhuiti experiment is, I believe, on that channel. But also here's the channel down here after the Apocalypse Now channel. So this is where you find my other two YouTube channels, and then on the Apocalypse Now it'll be here as well. So this is the link to get to this YouTube channel, and you can click on this video here, and it'll describe how to do this meditation. Okay, so I should say here that this will be on both my Apocalypse Now channel and my Pockets of the Future channel. I'm putting the same video up twice, so everyone gets to see it. And one thing I didn't say in the video, which I should probably add this video to the playlist, or actually just, create this audio again over there. But I describe the process and the instructions and how you do the meditation. There's something I left out, or I wish I'd said a little bit more about. And that is that meditation is something that you do internally, like when you learn to talk, when you learn to walk, when you learn to ride a bike. I mean, you're doing this inside yourself, right? So it's like something like that, where you can, you have to try it for a while before you do it, right? You're going to stumble a little bit when you're a little kid and you're trying to take your first steps, and it takes a while before you're good at walking, right? You might walk for 6 months and still be, a little toddler falling down a lot and things like this. And when you start talking, it's only a few words. You say one word, you start repeating some of these words and things you hear from your parents, but it takes some time and practice to figure out how to do it. And there is a meditator inside everybody, because everybody meditates. It's like when you're a little kid, when I was a little kid, we had these radiators. I grew up in Connecticut, and it was cold, long winters. And I was a little kid, we had these radiators, and the radiators had a metal cover on them. And in the morning during the winter, I would just sit there on top of the radiator getting warm and looking out the window. And before you know it, 20 minutes went by or whatever. It's like, when you're in a car and you're bored and you start looking out the window, you get into a meditative state, right? It's also like going to sleep. When you go to sleep, I made a whole voiceover about this, and it exists somewhere. I still have it somewhere, and I want to listen to the voiceover again and complete the video. But scientists don't know. They've studied this. What happens at the moment you fall asleep, right? Because you're tired, right? You feel this tired, and there's, whatever, increase of melatonin, and there's things that happen. I mean, you can feel it when you are put under with anesthesia. But what makes you go unconscious, right? I mean, you can get hit in the head and you can get knocked out. It's two different things, right? So what happens when you go unconscious? What happens to your body when you go unconscious? That moment where you go from being awake and alive and aware, or being, you're still alive, but being aware, awake and aware, to where you're no longer aware, where you're, in some alternative condition inside yourself, where now you're having dreams and you're having like an imaginary or different, your brain waves are different, and you're no longer conscious of what's going on around you. Your brain goes through different, it has the beta waves and the alpha waves. Your brain has different functions, and it also has a meditative state. It's like your computer, and now even your TV, goes to sleep if you're not watching it, right? And so you have these functions. And a meditative state, you start off from a conscious state, and then you enter into a meditative state. And nobody can really tell you how to do that. You just got to kind of, you just fall into it, right? You just you relax into it, right? It's something where there's a shift in your consciousness. And, everybody meditates, gets into meditative states. You do it all the time. Sometimes when you're driving, sometimes when you're doing something, cooking even, you get into these automatic kind of, where you're in the zone and your mind falls into a meditative state, a relaxed meditative state. So then it's just a matter of the object of your meditation and, what you're focusing on when you meditate. And I describe that in depth, a little bit more in depth in the video. So again, you can click on that video or that channel and do whatever you need to do to watch that video and figure out, all the things that go into meditate in this upcoming gathering that starts on Thursday. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely pointing from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.